Today, I would like to discuss how everybody is constantly lying. There are lying liars everywhere, all the time, and the intellectual dishonesty is on full display when Brian Williams, the former NBC anchor, was on Seth Meyers, and here is his election autopsy, and this is the most intellectually dishonest statement I've ever heard in my life. Play the clip.
It is tough love time for the Democratic Party. I think it needs to be stripped down and rebuilt. I think that means a change in leadership. I want to know who thought it was a good idea that Joe Biden stand for another 4 years at 80 years of age and 37% popularity. So then that saddled the party with a British-like short campaign season for them. I think it's insulting when members of the working class, which the Democratic Party has lost entirely in our lifetimes, to insist the economy is doing great. A 12-pack of Bounty is $40. Rich folks don't feel that. Poor folks already switched to Sparkle during the during the lockdown. And I think telling them that the NASDAQ is gangbusters is further insulting. It's insulting. I think the biggest unforced error of the Biden administration by far was the border. To tell people it's not a problem is insulting. For the working class to see incoming migrants getting welcome bags.
The only thing that he said that has merit is Biden choosing to run again. After that, it is incredibly intellectually dishonest because the Republicans only care about the border when it's an election season and they're running against the Democrats. They trot out caravans, they drum it up. During the 4 years that Trump held power, nobody ever complained about the border. It never came up. And there were the exact same set of issues then as there were now, because guess what? He ran on fixing the border. He didn't fix it. He said he was going to build a wall. Mexico was going to pay for it. The Democrats didn't hold his feet to the fire on that and say, look, we have a different philosophy, but this is what he told you. Furthermore, he says it's insulting to tell people that the economy is in a good position. Nobody lies to the American public more than the Republicans do regarding the economy. The Republicans only care about the very top percent. This is a group of people who are overtly religious and talk about all of their religiosity and their moral values. And they have constructed this white, buff, capitalist Jesus that only cares about the very top. And they have convinced people over and over and over again, despite the data showing something different, that wealth trickles down.
Right.
Now we have lots of time from when that was proposed and where we are now, that it doesn't trickle down. And in fact, it causes a shrinkage of the middle class and puts more people with consolidating wealth at the top and then a lot more people in poverty below. That is what is insulting. That is what is insulting Brian Williams, is lying to them and telling them we will fix the economy when they all know. Trump at Mar-a-Lago speaks to all these billionaires and says, there's a lot of rich people in this room and I'm going to give you all a lot of tax breaks. They all know, wink, wink, ha, ha, use religion, scare them with immigrants. That is what the problem is. We never call out the Republican Party for how they lie and co-opt people's faith, people in these rural towns where they have no culture at all. And the only exposure or a sense of community that they get are in these churches. And so and the church is a very fear-based thing. If you're not good enough, or if you beat off, or if you do this or that, and you slap and tickle with your secretary, you're going to burn in hell forever. So they're already very hardwired to be scared all the time. And the Republican Party uses that fear and uses their religion to turn them against voting for their own benefit. That is the most insulting thing about it. And until the Democrats start properly articulating that to Americans in a very simple way, not a very long, drawn out, nuanced way, but a very simple way, we are going to continue to see this complete shift where you have college educated, social justice people on one side, and then you have tens of millions of people that vote against their economic interest and vote for people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Donald Trump to not pay taxes, to have the economy rigged for them. Donald Trump even said, I don't like overtime. He said that on the campaign trail, and they still vote for him. So the Democrats have a massive uphill battle, but they're going to have to start clawing and show some fuck you politics, because what Brian Williams just said is the biggest part of the problem. And I'm so glad he's not the anchor of NBC News anymore, because that was a jet stream of bullshit.
It's so interesting, the point that you make, and it happened not just in the middle class, but with women voting against your own self-interest. And I look at the middle class and I think, or the working class, and think, do they not realize that the billionaires are getting richer, that the income disparity has ballooned under Republican policies, and they're just being lied to? Is it going to take the complete collapse of working class? And then you think, my gosh, Kamala Harris was advocating for an increase in the minimum wage, small business loan help, incentives to buy homes. The Republicans did none of that, and people still voted against them. Taking away a woman's right to her reproductive freedom. Now we're going to be talking IVF and contraception, yet these people voted against it. So I guess what I'm interested in the Democratic Party doing is learning why voting against your own self-interest has become such an epidemic in politics, and how do we take the message back from the lying Republicans?
Pumps, I have started my holiday shopping, and I take gift giving very seriously. I want the receiver to be wowed and feel like they got a unique gift. And I'm so happy to share with you Uncommon Goods. Have you been on their site yet?
I have, and I love everything on it. They're a great place to find hostess gifts. And what I particularly like about it is it supports small, independent businesses.
Listener, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/news. That's uncommongoods.com/news for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Pumps, oftentimes I can fall asleep, but then I wake up in the middle of the night and I cannot stay asleep. Do you have this problem?
I have the opposite problem. It's hard for me to fall asleep, but once I fall asleep, I'm good. So that's why I have loved this new delicious cocoa called Beam that helps you fall asleep.
Listener, this bedtime essential is so decadent and totally guilt-free and available in delicious flavors like sea salt caramel, brownie batter, vanilla chai, and Beam Dream Powder Original Flavor Cinnamon Cocoa. Each serving is only 15 calories and 0 grams of sugar. We can say this with confidence. Better sleep has never tasted better. Dream is tested for high-quality efficacy and formulated to ease your body into rest, supporting all 4 stages of the sleep cycle to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. Listener, right now, Beam is offering our listeners exclusive early access to their cyber sale. This is the biggest sale of the year, and our listeners can shop it early. Get up to 50% off when you visit shopbeam.com/IHIP. To try Dream for the lowest price of the year, head over to shopbeam.com/IHIP and get yours before they sell out. That's shopbeam.com/IHIP for up to 50% off. Well, number one, they're angry. They're mad. They're mad that they can't get ahead. You know, they get up in the morning, have a bowl of cereal, go to work their ass off, come home, watch Wheel of Fortune, get some haterade on Fox News, rinse and repeat, and they're never able to get ahead. And the right-wing narrative offers a place for them to put their rage. You can blame the immigrants, you can blame the rainbow mafia, you can blame trans people, all these people coming from the border, boo, scary, scary stuff. And so they offer them a place to put their blame. Kamala Harris, as you mentioned, she offered all these solutions. People don't want to hear that. So what the Democratic Party needs to do is offer them the real place to put their blame and start blasting on blast 24/7, 365, how morally fucked up MAGA is. Completely morally fucked up. And if you want to know how fucked up they are, you can look no further than our state of Oklahoma that has a Republican super majority. And I want to read for you and our viewer the tweet from, this was tweeted out yesterday by the current sitting governor of Oklahoma. His name is Kevin Stitt. Somebody went to the Tulsa City Council meeting, which is the second largest city in the state of Oklahoma, and spoke about Greek mythology to make a point that once you allow religion in to government, you allow all religion in. The sitting governor for the state of Oklahoma, currently in office, tweeted this yesterday. Satan is trying to establish a foothold, but Oklahoma is going to be a shining city on the hill. What the hell are we doing here? What the fuck is going on? Satan? Are you, this is the problem. This is it. I Googled to see if I could find a news story before we started filming this to see if somebody was calling him out for saying that Satan is trying to do work in Oklahoma. Hello? I mean, is this thing on? What the fuck is going on? And so you have all of these people in rural Oklahoma and their only exposure to culture is their church. And they're like, oh yeah, I've heard of that guy, Satan. This is Satan at work here. It's all bullshit. It's all this magical thinking bullshit. And this guy, Kevin Stitt, all he does is talk about what a big Christian he is. But he only ever talks about business and business for the top earners. He doesn't do anything about Oklahoma being ranked 49th or 50th in education. He doesn't do jack shit that Oklahoma is ranked 46 for child welfare. We are the bottom 10 in poverty, and he doesn't do shit about helping poor people. All he does is want to help big fat cat oil guys, while at the same time talk about how Jesus he is and then tweet that he's against Satan. Are you kidding me? No wonder these people are so fucking mad all the time. And what I have to tell the people in rural Oklahoma and rural America is this is all packaged up fear to scare the shit out of you so that the top people can earn everything that they want to off of your back. Do you think Kevin Stitt, this guy, do you think he gives a shit about poor people? No, he trots out Jesus the way somebody wears earrings. He puts them on when they look good with his outfit and he takes them off when they don't. He does nothing to help the poor, nothing to help children, nothing to help women. Did I mention that Oklahoma's 50th, the 50th best place for women to live, which is dead last? And this asshole, when he's not talking about Satan or Jesus, runs around lying to everybody saying Oklahoma is a top 10 state. And this is happening all over the United States. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to talk about blue cities. Let's talk about blue cities. Let's talk about how much better they are economically and how there's an effort to try to make people's lives better. What are you doing in rural Georgia, Marjorie? What the hell's going on there? Well, I'll tell you what's going on in rural Oklahoma is we have a dipshit governor who's talking about Satan as if that's a real character. I mean, come on.
It's ridiculous. And the poverty, the Republican hatred of poverty, these people that are voting against their own interests, they don't realize that they are the ones that the Republicans hate. They don't want to help them. They want to take from them. And I'm real anxious to see how Trump's tax on tips goes, because that was his big campaign. No tax on tips. That's never going to happen. People are going to continue to get poor. People are going to continue to see the income disparity. And in terms of religion and government, I think it is the demise of democracy. You cannot govern the United States of America like it's a church, because you are talking crazy shit that has no solutions, no real solutions for people. And I agree with you. We have got to get religion out of government.
This should have been above the fold.
Right.
Sitting governor of Oklahoma talks about Satan as though that's a real character. I mean, it's just, if somebody wants to believe that in their own private life, that there's a devil, swing for the fences. I don't give a shit. But we really need to have smart, rational, pragmatic leaders that do not traffic in magical thinking or these dark characters that are, I mean, come on. I mean, I read that and I thought, are we really here? It's almost 2025. And he says Satan is trying to get a foothold in Oklahoma. I'll tell you, I mean, I don't believe in any of that shit, but the single person who's done the most damage to Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt, is you. You've done nothing to improve the state. Yes, you've helped oil and gas companies. Yes, you've helped billionaires. Yes, you've helped millionaires. And you always want to say, come to Oklahoma. Nobody wants to come here and set up a big corporation here when Roe, it's a total abortion ban. Yeah, come here. Your daughters will get raped and we're going to charge them with the crime and not the rapist. I mean, come on. But he wants to scare everybody with this talk about Satan. I mean, it's insane. It is totally insane. And the Democrats miss an opportunity to not just lay this MFer out, lay him out. This is a crazy person that believes crazy things. That is a total fraud. He is a con man. This governor of this state trots out his religion when it's convenient for him, because he knows rural America is terrified of Satan. It has no relevance in any form of government. It's insanity. It is totally bonkers. And I just am up to my eyeballs with these religious buffoons. If Republican policies worked, and if turning your life over to Jesus Christ, all of those things meant that you were going to net all of these wonderful things, then the South, the American South that has Republican supermajorities and the highest concentration of Christian voters, would be the top 10 states. But much to my surprise, they are the rock bottom of despair, of poverty, of torture, of just never able to dig out of anything. And they want to keep it that way. So fuck you, Kevin Stitt, for being the biggest hypocrite I have ever seen in my life. And if the mainstream media isn't going to call you out, I'm going to, because what you're doing to the majority of Oklahomans is revolting. It is disgusting.
He certainly doesn't represent their interests at all.
He does not. All right, we'll see you guys later.
It's so